Afternoon and welcome to our virtual open house. My name is Iris Rosenbluth and I am the manager of online tech training at George Brown College, and I'll be one of your hosts today. With me are my colleagues Geeta Min, who will join me as a co-host, and Shimona Bab, who will be moderating the chat questions. Just before we begin, I wanted to go over a few housekeeping items. This session is being recorded and we will share it with you after the event. Everyone is on mute and off camera. We do have a live chat and it will be monitored by Shimona throughout the session. Shimona will either answer your questions on the spot or will bring them forward to the end during our Q&A session. And lastly, we are going to post a few polls during the open house and would invite you to respond to them. In terms of today's agenda, Geet and I will do a quick 10 to 15 minute presentation with an overview of our college, our programs, curriculum, and the student experience. And then we'll spend the rest of the session addressing your questions. So let's look at our programs. First, let me take you through a quick journey of our distance learning legacy. Since 1998, GBC Tech Training has provided online technical training. Our first program launch was the electronics technician. From CD-ROMs to web-based curriculum, over the years, we've been leaders in online technical training. Responding to the ever-evolving industry needs, we have developed a range of programs within two learning pillars. First, within advanced manufacturing technology, we have electronics, electromechanical, PLC, both an intro and advanced program, robotics and automation. And under clean tech, we have an electric vehicle and wind turbine certificate program. And we just launched the solar energy technician and solar panel installer certificates, and a construction health and safety micro-credential. Geet, if you can go to the next slide. In our presentation, we will review 7 reasons why students should consider our programs and how these programs will help you reskill, upskill, and refresh in today's economy. First, we'll start with our brand reputation. Next slide, Geet. George Brown College has a stellar reputation with over 70,000 full-time and part-time students. We have 3 campuses in Toronto, and we are the 3rd largest provider of distance education courses in North America. What sets us apart is our robust online delivery method. Designed to meet the evolving needs of our students and industry, we offer flexible options, self-directed, on-demand, online learning, open enrollment, and virtual labs that use cutting-edge simulation software. And Geet, this is a perfect segue to you. I'm going to turn it over so you can talk about our simulation software.
Thank you, Iris. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our open house. I will walk you all through some of the unique features of our program. And as we can see on the screen, the most standout feature of our program is the simulation software. Now, when it comes to technical training programs like electronics, electromechanical, robotics, automation, PLC, or even EV, wind turbine, it is very essential for students to have the hands-on practical experience to learn the technology. Now, understanding theory is one thing, but being able to apply that knowledge in practical scenarios is what really prepares you for the workforce, for the career in manufacturing industry. And that is exactly what we deliver through our simulation-based learning. It bridges the gap between theoretical learning and practical application. So each student, when they register into the program, they'll receive a licensed copy of the simulation software. Depending on which program you register, it will be a different simulation software, which is fully integrated into the course content that you will also receive when you register into the program. And the best part of this is you get to keep the simulation software even after graduation. So And a lot of our students, we hear a lot from their feedback that when they graduate, they continue to use the simulation software to try out the scenarios before they apply it in the real world manufacturing environment. Now, our programs feature hundreds of virtual labs with 3D simulations that replicate the real world manufacturing environments, which will give you the valuable hands-on experience without needing to be in a physical lab. Okay, let's take a look at some of this 3D world environments. So here we can see on the screen, these are the various manufacturing environments covered in our PLC Logix 500, PLC Logix 5000, and RoboLogic simulation software, which are part of various programs that we offer. So PLC, robotics, automation, wind turbine, obviously. And now we refer to this manufacturing environments as 3D worlds because they are very realistic three-dimensional simulations of real industrial settings, you can say. So our programs are built to prepare you for a career in manufacturing industry, and this 3D worlds play an integral part in that. As you go through the modules, you'll come across various lab projects, and these lab projects will launch one of these manufacturing environments, and your task as a student will be to develop a new program or maybe to modify an existing program to control the systems. Now, this will really allow you to apply the learning that you have studied in the theory side into the real world practice. So the simulations they allow you to visualize, interact, and control this industrial processes, and you'll get the full hands-on experience in programming, troubleshooting, and operation of this manufacturing environments, all within a safe environment. So it's the closest thing you'll be able to get on the factory floor without really being on the factory floor. So these tools are very important in your learning experience, and it will help you build the practical skills that employers look for in the manufacturing sector. We will take a look at some of the simulation in action in the short video demonstrations that we have prepared in the next slide. So let's go to the next one. So here we can see the first one is the batch mixer application, commonly found in the chemical and pharmaceutical industries. As we can see on the screen, it's adding the solution from two different pumps and mixing the solution and heating it. The next one is the bottle line plant, again used in the pharmaceutical and beverage sectors. In this scenario, the bottles are filled with different liquid. Depending on the size and color of the liquid, they are sorted into different aisles. Now, we have sped up this video, but you will get full control when you're going through them in your training to be able to program and control them. All these 3D worlds are powered by, you can say, ladder logic programs in the background. So when you modify the ladder logic program, when you create a new ladder logic program, you will be able to control this simulation worlds, and it's very interactive. So if you modify something on your program, you will be able to see it reflect on the manufacturing environment. So here, the elevator application, it demonstrates how PLC can be used in everyday systems that we use. And the silo application widely used in agriculture and food industries. Again, it's very important application, which you will be able to control using the ladder logic program in the background. The traffic light simulation, again, it will allow you to manage the timing sequences of the red, green, and yellow light using the ladder logic. So these are just few interactive 3D world included in our training, each designed to give you the hands-on experience with systems that are actively used in the manufacturing industry today. So next on our screen is the practical programming example. Let's take a closer look at a ladder logic program. I hope you can see it clearly. We try to fit everything on one screen. So on the right-hand side, you can see it's a ladder logic program which controls the batch mixer application. Now, this practical programming example is asking students to modify the existing program that you can see on the right-hand side to solve the 4 sub-questions that you see on the left-hand side of the screen. Now, the task involves programming the system such that you have to add the 20 units of solution A, 10 units of solution B into the tank. Students must also add a logic to mix and heat the solution until it reaches a specified set point temperature. And once the solution is ready, the ladder logic program should drain the contents of the tank and then add a 2-second delay before it repeats the entire process. So it's a very good example of how batch mixers are used in pharmaceutical and chemical industries and how PLCs are essential in automating this repeatable task, right? So this is just one of many practical programming examples covered in the course when students where students will be able to apply what they have learned and see the real world relevance in their programming skills. Let's take a look at another simulation world here. It's the wind turbine simulation application covered obviously in our wind turbine technician program. This is divided into 2 key areas, the yaw control and the pitch control. If anyone interested in wind turbine, they would be aware of this technical terms. The yaw control system, it rotates the nacelle. So nacelle is nothing but the housing that contains the generator and the gearbox. It rotates the nacelle to ensure that it's always facing the wind to maximize the power efficiency. And the pitch control system adjusts the angle of the turbine blades to regulate the amount of wind energy captured. Right now, this helps maintain the steady power output. The application that we are looking at, it's a 1 megawatt power output, so it will help maintain the steady 1 megawatt power output even as the wind speeds fluctuate. Now, in this simulation, we can observe how PLC program is used to dynamically regulate the blade pitch angle in response to real-time wind conditions. So system continuously will adjust the power output to make sure that it's very close to the rated maximum level. And as shown here on the screen, on the left-hand side, you'll be able to control the wind speed and wind direction and everything, and accordingly control the entire simulation environment. Let's move on to the next one. Here, it's a short video showing you the EV Technician program overview. There are 14 modules covered in the EV Technician program with multiple sections within each module that are very detailed to give you the training to work in the EV industry. The EV Technician program will cover in-depth theory and practical examples on different topics. The one that we are looking at right now is about regenerative braking system. It's where the kinetic energy is converted back into electrical energy and fed to the batteries to charge it, right? So the technology behind it, the circuit behind it, the operation of that whole system is covered in our program very extensively. The next one, we're looking at the high voltage interlock loop, HVIL, the safety. As we all know, EVs use the high voltage batteries and different parts. So it's very important to follow that high voltage safety, and it's not just for the technicians working on the EV, but also the passengers, also the first responders. Everyone, it is utmost important that we follow the proper guidelines for those high voltage applications. Our program is very generic. What you can see on the screen is a Tesla Model S battery, and it shows you how the charging application works. But we don't really focus on one brand. You will learn the concepts behind the EV cars and also the charging stations. The circuit logic simulation software that is used to teach you all this application it has over 10,000 devices and components, including all the high voltage EV components that can be easily picked from the device library to design and troubleshoot the circuits used in the electric vehicle. Here on the screen, this is a Tesla Model S battery module. So we have worked with technicians in the industry. We have worked with industry experts to design this different modules, and you will be able to learn how to control them. Here, this is a quick look at the Student Resource Center and other support tools available to all the students. Now, all our programs follow pretty much the same format. regardless of which program you register into it, and the online exams as well. Our online exams are advanced testing system powered by AI, which will help you prove the mastery of the material that you have learned in the program. Let's move on to the next slide here. Okay, there we go. And the minimum entry requirements for our program is very, very basic. Even though all our programs are very sophisticated, all the simulation tools are very high-end, it does not require you to have a sophisticated computer to run this application. One of the basic requirement that we ask students is to have a computer running Windows operating system. Unfortunately, it would not work on any other computers. If it's a Mac operating system or a Chrome OS, it requires you to have the Windows OS. Anything like Windows 10, 11 would be perfect. As we can see on the screen, you do not require to have a lot of amount of free disk space. A very simple computer with 4 GB RAM, a processor that's compatible to i3, i5, or i7, or if you have the AMD processor, then maybe Ryzen 3, Ryzen 5, or Ryzen 7, or any equivalent processor would be good enough for you to run these programs on your computer. You do require internet access because the course curriculum is hosted on our servers. So anytime you want to study, you will need to be connected to the internet. But the simulation software, on the other hand, is installed locally on your computer. So you will be able to do any of those lab projects, even when you're not connected to the internet. It's just that when you want to access the course curriculum, you will have to be connected to the internet. And also for the online exams, you have to be connected to the internet because exams are online. It can be taken anytime. The exams are timed 90-minute exam, and you have to answer 30 questions within those 90 minutes. And there are practice exams to help you prepare for the online exam. So you won't be left alone. There are practice exams at the end of most of the modules in the program, which will help you prepare for the online exams. Thank
you, Geet.
You also, over to you.
So I'll take over from here. Next item is flexible learning. Learn anytime, any place. So we offer on-demand e-learning programs that typically take an average of 14 to 32 weeks of part-time study to complete. And why is this important? Well, students in our programs typically are a bit older, 25 to 55, and they're working already, either part-time or full-time, and maybe working in shift work. The flexible format is designed to fit into your schedule, not ours. So you can work at your own pace to complete the program. We provide students with the web-based curriculum and the support, but we leave the scheduling of studying and exams up to you. Next slide, Geet. Next slide, please. Thank you. Our flexible registration. Our programs that Geet has already mentioned are open enrollment, and that means you can register anytime. They don't follow the traditional fall, winter, spring, and summer intake. Students can start at any time that's convenient to them. So once you register, you can start tomorrow, next week, next month, whatever works for you. And we also have 2 registration options. Students can enroll into the full program upfront or register for modules one at a time through our pay-as-you-learn option. It makes it really convenient and affordable for students to register and start our programs. Next slide, please. And as you can see, our tuition, we feel, is affordable. With just a small investment, students can get job-ready skills. The total cost for each of our programs is under $2,000. And again, you can opt for the pay-as-you-learn, which the initial payment is even lower. It can be $380. There's no expensive books or lab equipment. And the cost includes the web-based curriculum, which Geet mentioned is yours to keep and receive. This license copy is so important. It grants you access to the simulation software. and the program material even after you graduate. So even while you're working, if a problem comes up at work, you can refer back to that simulation software, put in your own what if scenarios, and try and figure out the problem yourself. Next slide, please. And lastly, our student support. We know that you're working on your own, but you're not alone. And we have 24/7 robust student support built into our programs to help you get to the finish line and receive that certificate. We want you to graduate, and we're there to help you finish the program. Full technical, tutorial, and administrative support is available to students by phone and email. And our experienced consultants can assist students with a range of problems, anything from installation of a program to solving content-based problems, even submitting an online test if they're having problems with it. Our students also have access to discussion forums where they can interact with our tutor. They can join our Facebook group and extend their network. Again, we want to make sure we're there to help you when you need the help. So that's not just during the day. It's really anytime you need it. And that brings us to the end of our formal presentation. And I'm going to ask Manal if she can post. We did have thank you, some other poll questions if you could please answer them. And Shimona, I'm going to open it up to you. Were there any questions that came up that Geet and I might be able to answer?
There was one I was about to answer, which you could respond to the last one, saying he have a technical school in West Africa, and he want to know if he could buy training modules from you there.
Certainly, absolutely. It doesn't matter where you're located because the material that we're sending you, it's web-based. You can work at your own pace. It doesn't matter whether you're in Toronto, Canada with us or located thousands and thousands of miles away. You can still work on our program. You just need to have an internet connection. And you can still contact our support team by email to get the help that you need, or go into the discussion forums, or go onto our Facebook group. It really, you don't have to, you don't physically attend our school, so you can work on it anywhere.
Right. And to answer that specific question, Iris, I believe what they're asking is they have a technical school in West Africa and they would like to buy training modules, maybe to use it in their technical school for students.
Okay, Shimona, if you could perhaps just give him my link, in terms of providing a partnership with the school, that's probably better to have in a one-on-one discussion or through an email discussion, and I'd be happy to take that up with you. Absolutely.
There was one of the question in the chat where FM, he asked if he can register into more than one program at the time. So as Shimona mentioned, you absolutely can register into multiple programs. And what's best in doing that is you get exemptions. If let's say if you register into PLC Technician 1, you graduate from that program, and then you end up registering into PLC Technician 2, out of 19 modules, you would only have to you'll get exemptions for 7 modules, so you won't have to pay for those 7 modules. So you will definitely save a lot of money in not taking those extra 7 modules, which are common between the two programs. So and it applies to all our programs. So any two programs or more, if they have common modules, you will get exempted and you won't have to pay for them.
I also see another question about textbooks and reference materials. Some of our programs do have textbooks, but they are not compulsory. They certainly, if you like to have that paper-based learning, absolutely, you can buy them. But everything you need is in the in the program material that we provide to you, the web-based material. Shimona?
Yep, there's other question asking which course would lead to a diploma, lead to a college diploma. Which program
So
would lead to?
all of our all of our programs are credit bearing. So theoretically, any of our programs can be used to go to another college and use them towards a program that they offer. At George Brown College, our electronics and our PLC programs, we have developed a pathway to continue your education for a diploma or a degree. And perhaps, Shimona, if you could post those links so they could look into it a bit more. But our programs are accredited. So as with any program, if you were to come to us and said you've taken courses, you would have to show us your transcripts and your course content, and then we would evaluate if what you took matches our course curriculum, so we could give you exemptions. It works with other colleges or universities as well, but we do have those two pathways. Shimona?
Yep. There's another question. If someone is retired and looking to get back into the workforce, maybe you could explain how that would benefit our programs would benefit them.
Well, again, if you want to get back into the workforce and you need to refresh or retrain, and depending on what area you want to get into, any of our programs would help you do that. Geet, is there anything else you want to add?
No, that's perfect. And that's the best part of our program, right? You could be at any stage of your career. Our program starts from a very basic level, but that doesn't mean it doesn't apply to some of the technicians who are already in the field. In fact, we get so many students sponsored by the companies. We have a long-standing relationship with so many very popular, very well-known companies who continuously send their employees to take our program as part of their upskilling workforce partnership. And what helps to the employees is if they are working in an area and they see that there are a lot of job openings in another sector which they don't have education for, they'll be able to take our programs from at their own schedule, because it's completely online, open enrollment. They can register anytime they want. They can study at their own pace. If life happens and you have to pause it for, let's say, a few weeks, you are absolutely able to do that as well and continue where you left off. And once you graduate, get the certificate from the college, which you can submit to your employer, and sometimes they give you they will reimburse the tuition fee once you do that, and which it will help you advance your career depending on if you're planning to just move to a different department or maybe get a promotion.
I noticed somebody had asked about exemptions. If they enroll in automation, will they also will there be the same topics? So yes, as Shimona mentioned, there is some content overlap, but it's important to note that once you complete one program, credit for common modules will be applied to that second program.
Yeah, there's other question as well. They want to know about successfully gaining employment after completing the electronics program, percentage wise.
So
career outcomes. Yeah.
So I'll answer one question, and I'm not sure if I'm answering the right question. So when it comes to finding a job, we don't provide internships or co-op placements. You'll be on your own when it comes to finding a job, but you'll have this brand new set of skills which will open doors and new opportunities for you. We also have a Facebook group for our student and alumni, and we do post jobs that come our way on that site. You'll also be able to develop your network or extend your network through our Facebook group. In terms of statistics of the people who complete our program that get jobs, we don't actually, our relationship with you, because you're online and you're not in a classroom with us, if you share that information, we have that information. But many times people take the program, they fill out surveys, we post their testimonials on our site that say where they're working or why they took the program, and that they've gotten promotions, but we don't have actual statistics, again, because we don't require you to share that information with us.
Okay, I'm thinking just one more. Yeah.
I would encourage you to look if there's a particular program that you're interested in. Look at the testimonials we post on the websites. I think they're quite informative. Geet, are there any questions that were posted before the
There's actually one question in the chat. I see they're asking about how and Shimona just posted some simulation software links, so that's perfect. Maybe that would answer that question. So just to give you a brief answer to your question, Zemba, about how simulation software is used in solar energy program. So everything, so as you know, with solar energy, there's electricity involved. So right from the start, you will learn the basic electricity using the circuit logic simulation software. So if you're someone coming brand new to this field, if you have no experience in electronics or electricity, you'll not have to worry about that. You will learn everything from basic electricity to DC AC circuits, and then you will jump into the power electronics side of it, right? So all the inverters and converters and arrays and everything that you require to learn to set up the solar panels, and sometimes if you, depending on which program you take, we have two programs, solar panel installer and solar energy, and depending on which one you take, it will go in depth to teach you all the regulatory requirements as per the PV systems, the photovoltaic systems.
I think that's it for questions at the moment. Yeah.
We just got, I guess it was ALV Young. The programs offered are based on current industry demand. Yes, they are. When the programs were developed, they were developed with experts in the area to meet demands. The programs are updated, so they are current. And that's why we developed the solar, the whole clean tech pillar, the electric vehicle, the wind technician, the solar programs. They were developed because there was a demand and a need for it. Yeah, please contact me if you have questions regarding, you can send me an email, and I can also put you through to our program consultants, because they're really the experts in these programs, and they can guide you through helping you decide which program is right for you, or answering any other questions that you might have. And if that's it, then I'm gonna say we're gonna wrap it up. I don't have any other questions, pre-submitted questions, Geet, unless you do.
No, that's pretty much it from my end as well.
Well, we appreciate your taking the time out of your busy day to meet with us and to listen to our presentation. Next week, we will be sending you a link to the full video. Please contact us. You see the 1-800 number, 1888 number, or the info number, info email. Send us an email, drop us a line, or email me directly, and we'll try and help answer your questions. And it was nice meeting you. Thank you very much for coming and spending your time with us.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Hope you have a great day.